The day of the hairy freak or the fat slob is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, look at us. We did it again. Another 7 days round the sun. Welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live. Now it's a little bright for my liking. Let's see if we can fix that. A little bit better, a little bit better. My name's Tom. Right there. That's my name. I am the reason for the season, that being Tommy Tuesday. Again, this is WCW Deep Cuts Live, wherever Tuesday at 9 p.m. we gather to watch the forgotten quote-unquote classics from television of World Championship Wrestling in the 1990s. Hello to everybody in the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club, aka the chat. Hello to everybody I see here live. We're gonna have a lot of fun here in a moment. Also, FYI, if you're watching this on YouTube, I apologize. Could not put up the full version of last week's episode, but that's why you gotta join us live. You really have to join us live, because I'm almost never able to put up the full 2 hours. It almost always makes me edit something out. It's normally the good stuff. It's the part where we show the drugs and the boobies. So, yeah, that's what it is. And in the case of last Tuesday, it only let me upload one part of it. So that would be the Halloween Havoc 2000 pre-show. That's up on YouTube, or watch along with that. But the rest of it, YouTube was like, fuck you. So yes. Anyway, like I said, shout out to the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club, aka the chat. And speaking of, a lot of these folks are in this other list, that being members of my weirdo empire. Thank you to everybody who has forked out a few bucks over on YouTube to help support all of this messiness, all of this silliness, as one might say. Glad to have you all as members of the Weirdo Empire. We will likely be doing Not Quite Wrestling, the members only stream, next Friday. FYI, next Friday. So look out for that. I'll have some more news later in the next week or so. So thank you for that. Thank you, all you members. Special thanks to Connecticut White Cotton Panties fan. Always glad to have your support, Vince Russo. Now, speaking of all the fine folks of the Weirdo Empire or the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club, a lot of crossover, and they are also in my Discord, tinyurl.com/discord for Tom Green. Look at that right there. That's my Discord. Go check it out if you're not already in there. I broke some news earlier. Hey, K-Dog, Bowdy, Rowdy, thank you so much for the follow. Broke some news, asked for an opinion on something I'm about to actually throw out to you all. Here in a second. Actually, I need to get the poll ready. Come on. It erased my fucking poll. You're gonna watch me make it again. I'm texting and streaming. Somebody come arrest me. Alright, I'm about to put this poll out. I need you all to vote. Start poll. Poll has been created. Thank you, Jonathan. Getting Melt, thank you for upping that sub. Much appreciated. So yeah, off the grid. There's too much fucking wrestling this weekend. On my weekend. And I'm really upset about it. I'm really upset about it. So I gotta figure out, and I need your guys' help. Am I gonna be streaming on Friday or Sunday for Off the Grid? Got about 10 minutes to vote. So far, it looks like Sunday is pulling out. By the way, I flipped those. It's Sunday at 8 p.m. or Friday at 9 p.m. I messed up the times. Yeah, so, Not Quite Wrestling will be Fridays going forward for you YouTube members, but we're voting right now. It looks like Sunday's pulling ahead. Essentially, do you want me to stream up against ROH or WWE Evolution? So yeah, make your voice be heard. Democracy is happening now, and we'll talk about it here in a moment. Speaking of talking, check me out tomorrow. I am back for the second week in a row on Wrestling Daily with Matt Camp. Tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on his YouTube channel and the BR app. Bleacher Report, like an actual corporate thing. So check that out. Matt and I are going to chat about AEW Dynamite happening that night. I'm sure we'll talk about All In, a lot of other things. So yeah, I love Matt. Matt's the best. Matt is the best, and I love him, and I hope you love him too. I'm really happy that he was happy with last week's appearance, and I hope it becomes a regular thing, because I love talking to Matt. Last Wednesday's appearance is up on his YouTube channel, so yeah, go check that out. And yeah, big boy checks. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, keep voting in the poll. We'll check that out here in about 8 minutes. But it has been 7 minutes and we have not watched one fucking second. Not 1 second of wrestling. How dare I? Let's go back to 1994, watch some WCW Pro. Let's go. Buddha Bull, I'm so happy to have you back, my dude. I have missed you. As always, let me know how the audio is. Let me know how I sound, how it sounds. I saw a message, I think DMP early. Yes, I was recording video using OBS, and I accidentally clicked stream. So for about 20 seconds, I was streaming me setting up my shot for the AEW video that I did. Check it out. If you're excited about AEW All In this Sunday, so am I. And I told you what, I'd give it about 20 minutes or so.
WCW Pro, the pro team gotten solely public, if you will, looking clean.
Saw a Instagram clip. Dusty Cody's apparently looking for the jacket. The red jacket. Dusty sold it.
Is indeed a great show tonight coming up too.
Windborne Ideas, thank you for the sub. Hype Train Therapy giving out subs? Hell yes. Hype Train has started. Ho!
Smack into the biggest planet we have in the solar system.
The guy who created ShamWow, probably.
Amounts of energy released in the history of the world.
What the fuck is he talking about?
The pro show with the pro team.
A pro show with the pro team. This is like right when Hogan comes in. We're heading into Hogan era. Like Hogan's there, but he hasn't wrestled a match yet. Here we go. Curtis Lewa's favorite wrestler. I'm asking now what Larry's talking about. Yeah, true, I should have asked 4 years ago. Wow, this is late era Dennis Canterbury in WCW. No mask. People don't give Dennis Canterbury, not Dennis Canterbury, Mark Canterbury. I'm an idiot. Hey, Space Ghost. Mark Canterbury's fucking huge. And that shot of him, that one shot, his traps are up to his freaking ears.
Well, a guy with some very high opinions, but I'll tell you what, he can back them up as well. And right now, though,
Like, do you think Ray Traylor and Dusty Rhodes talked about red leather jackets in the locker room? Maybe rubbed them up against each other, like squeak, 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 squeak. By the way, in the last week, I have gotten a new router, a new Ethernet cord, and I upgraded my internet package. So if the stream goes down tonight, that's short for you. The O'Days, one of the sadder stories. What happens when Nepo babies go wrong?
Now it's your all-time favorite store, Adidas at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
If you didn't see it Monday, I put up a short telling the story of Larry and Jeff O'Day, the Australian tag team in the 1992 NWA Tag Team Title Tournament. And those sad jamokes who had to wrestle Doc and Gordy. Hey, refs as wizards, hello. Yes, I agree with you, Rai. Winning runs sucked. But Major League Baseball was great. There we go. Old Stevie Austin. Todd Morton against Stunning Steve. I don't think it's that they were no-selling the O'Days. But rather, I think they were just taken aback. Because, like, I watched some of Larry O'Day's Australian stuff when I was editing, and they didn't, like, touch each other when, like, their strikes were so light. So Larry O'Day, like 10 years into retirement, comes to America, and then Doc just punches him in the mouth. I have a similar story, by the way, Cecil. Half of the opener of the first Clash I remember watching, the November 91 Clash, cut off. So up until the WWE Network came around, I just thought they joined the match in progress. This is Todd Morton. He had permission from Ricky to do this, as he came up as a Ricky disciple, kind of like Kid Cash. I don't know if they were kayfabe brothers or definitely kayfabe relatives, because they would take bookings together as a team when Ricky and Robert weren't talking.
Determines who I get my shot at now, and I'm not going to wait very much longer.
Well, pretty obvious,
all right,
gentlemen, that your thoughts were right. Stunning Steve has one
when they want you to cut a promo, but won't tell you what to cut a promo about.
You know, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat going after United States heavyweight title.
Oh, hey, look, Nick Patrick had lice.
Good kick right in the stomach right there. I'm telling you, Steve.
He was rubbing his head up against a rope, and why didn't Nick Patrick fall down? What was that?
I tell you, you can bet your boots, Dusty, that Steamboat's sitting back watching this video and realizing the tenacity.
That's awesome. See, people, young kids these days don't realize how cool it was to find a tape that you either got from somebody else or forgot that you recorded. It's just a jumbled mess of various things. Yeah, Ricky Gibson, Robert's older brother. Shoot, older brother. Nick Shatry.
Which will be live from center stage. We certainly hope all of you will tune in, and you will have a chance.
I almost put that episode of Saturday Night with this show, but the copy I have is so shitty in quality, you can barely hear the audio, and I tried to boost it in every way that I knew how, and it just wasn't worth it. So. Those 2 episodes of Pro.
Steve Austin, U.S. heavyweight champion, double tough. Double rear chin lock right now by Stunning Steve.
Yeah, but look what Austin's doing.
Yeah, Austin,
I'm going to clamp him down on the mat and see some.
Yeah, like you said, Cecil, he had a very unique.
Well, obviously that's
even if you couldn't like see his face or any distinct, like if you were Stan Hansen and Legally Blind, you could still tell you're watching Steve Austin wrestle.
Stunning Steve Austin, very definitely staying in control.
Thank you, Jonathan. Much appreciated.
WCW Pro. And once again, we'd like to remind you, of course, that tonight on
Hands Across America.
Night, which will be live from Atlanta.
I need to ask,
We will
like an
have
old
both
school
Ric
shooter
Flair
type,
and Hulk Hogan
because this was a
on the front.
common like grip back in the day, doing the S grip and putting your shoulders down on a guy, or putting your elbows on a guy's shoulders as a chin lock. I've never seen anybody do that in a shoot. Oh my God, like 92 Steve Austin against 2007 Generico? It'd be brilliant. Hello, Alan. I always do, my man. Always do.
The main event.
Appreciate you.
We'll have a special 900 line available to you tonight, live from Atlanta on WCW Saturday night. So be sure and check
We need
us out.
the return of the iron-on leather tights.
Himself, along with Bobby the Brain Heater.
Like tights, everybody's tights and singlets look too nice these days.
The other day, Larry.
Don't even kid about that, Gordon.
Appreciate it, my man.
Okay.
We need somebody to just iron on their name to their ass.
And what he's doing, taking his time, wearing this man down is a different Steve Austin here. Might say giving him a wrestling lesson, but going
You're right
back to
there.
what you said
Nobody's
earlier
doing
with
the
his
drop
chin
toe
lock
hold
here
like
with
Austin
his neck up
was,
around
to
his-
Cecil's
his
point.
hairline is that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got to be sitting somewhere.
I know, not
someplace,
child.
watching the
I'm
action
talking
right
this,
here,
like
because,
Austin.
brother, I
Like just get
believe
a
that this
plain
is
player,
the test
plain
for Steve
plain
Austin.
pair
If
of
he
black
was to
trunks
choose
and just
a man
iron on your
to
name
train with,
in
to get
shitty
ready for
letters.
Ricky, by no means is this kid a Ricky the
Yeah,
Dragon
I don't want
Steamboat.
E-Lucha shit.
Gonna be a big one.
Is indeed, and of course we've also got the tremendous tag team action as the natural Dustin Rhodes.
I could see that, the forearm squeeze
take
through the
on
temples. I could see that.
Bunkhouse Buck and Terry
I worked because I used to do commentary for a few groups in the Midwest about 10, 12 years ago. And there was a show I was working where JJ Garrett, who was a longtime like Midwest guy, did some GCW. He forgot his tights, and the show was at a flea market. So he just walked over to one of the flea market booths and bought a pair of leggings for $10, and those were his tights for the night.
Isn't a happy camper, but that's what he gets for letting Morton out from being on the mat.
Morton very aggressive throughout this
Wasn't
entire
the
match.
entire
I think
varsity
he
club gimmick
realizes
shitty iron
what
on?
an
Yeah,
important match it is for him.
yeah, that was the
He
era
was
for it.
champion
That was the
to a,
appropriate era
time
for it.
limit
Goes to
draw
Burt Burness. I think it needs to make a
here on,
comeback.
Nationwide TV. That really
Old is
moves
new
him up in
again.
the ranks.
He's definitely got a case for the upper echelon. It's a big step up that ladder, but Steve Austin, tough competitor.
That's
High vertical
fucking
souffle
awesome.
By a stunning Steve. At a 2 count, Martin was able to
I
roll
love
away from
that.
a stunning Steve. Drives the knee. Into the
I love
throat.
the idea of going to your mom. Hey, could you make my little wrestling
It
pants?
wasn't a chokehold, but you just bend the neck so much you cannot breathe.
Russo left
Martin fired the
WCW
midsection of stunning Steve.
October 2000. It was right before the Australian tour.
Stunning Steve.
Because I remember the story at the time was Russo
This young fella
quit
is
because he
fighting
wanted to go to the
with all
Giants
kinds of
World Series games.
Brother, he caught a big old size 12 right in the puss and took him down right there.
Supposed to be
laying
skulls,
full
Mom,
face
not smiley faces.
Got him
Honey,
down, 1, 2.
you're such a sweet
Almost
boy.
a pinfall. Referee tolling the count. Stunning Steve up once again.
Get away from him. He'll give
Moving
you
up on the
lice.
ring ropes. Todd Morton moving very, very slowly.
Like Nick Patrick looks
Stunning
so
Steve
embarrassed
poised, ready.
to have a shaved
Inside
head.
midsection coming in. Todd Morton up a beautiful flying drop kick. Caught him right
Also,
in the
why
rear.
is this like an actual good match and not just a squash? Like, this is a hell of a match.
He wants this match, and so far he wants it more than Stunning Steve.
Yeah, they had about 7-8 months at the
Stunning
end
Steve
without
catches him
Russo,
that time
yeah.
as he, carooned into the
He was carooned?
turnbuckle. Now Stunning Steve hooks him.
I don't know if it was actually lice, that's nuts. But I've always joked when I've seen bald Nick Patrick.
Control center is next.
And boxing legend and a great friend of ours, George Foreman. The Hulkster is standing by.
You don't
I want to get his comments, but first,
Why
let's
did
hear from
Hogan
champion
let them
Ric Flair.
run that footage?
You see the marquee? Hogan, Flair.
Yeah, it's
are
very
also
yeah, you can't
back
read
at
the
the
who
unified
knows who's in the matches.
World Heavyweight Championship on the line next Sunday. Sherry, it's here. Hogan, I've waited a lifetime.
Yeah, we'll get to hear Gordon slowly talk about Mr. T here in a bit.
Hogan, Flair, Hogan.
Oh my God, he's insane. Hogan training with Foreman is something good about the whole grill.
There's not gonna be any Hogan after next Sunday. There's only gonna be the next.
Yeah, Sherry really matched Flair's freak. Like, it is hard when Flair is in promo mode to outshine him. She completely takes over the scene.
It's not the dirtiest player in the game anymore. It's the dirtiest players in the game.
Like, I really wish that run would have gotten more time. And they weren't like, oh, we're going to retire you in October. And then they don't put them back together when Flair comes back. I thought that was bullshit. Like, Flair wasn't a guy that did well with, like, I didn't like Flair with woman. Flair just didn't feel like a character that would have one lady, you know? But him and Sherry, you totally buy it's 100% platonic. They're business partners.
I rule the world. But when I compare that to the fact
but like they match each other's energies so well.
And one belt in Ric Flair, it gives me a chance to clear up my legacy. Hulk Hogan, were you the greatest wrestler of all times? Or Hulk Hogan, can you beat Ric Flair? Now
I love Sister Sherry because she was kind of like the den mom for Harlem Heat.
Ted Turner has put his blessing on the dotted line. It will take place.
Hey, you ain't Sid. You don't rule the world.
Can you imagine when I step in that Orlando arena with the pythons pumped to maximum capacity and all the Hulkamaniacs are screaming in their seats?
You aren't supposed to say that part on TV, Hulk.
In Ric Flair's eyes, brother.
You aren't supposed to say that you pumped your pythons.
In your wrestling boots for anything in the world. They say it's the match of a decade.
Yeah, Jimmy just looks tired standing next to Hulk, sucking all the air out of the room. Has anyone's skin ever looked like Hogan's? Here, you know, like he oils up, and it's just a completely different texture than anything I've ever seen on a human being. Even like competition bodybuilders, it's like a different kind of sheen. It's like a the finish on like a dining room table. He looks like polished wood. Yes. I had hot dogs for dinner last night that came out like that. See, if my hot dogs were shiny like that, I'd be worried.
I want it more than anything in my life. And what you gonna do when the largest arms in the world?
According to a fan who was at a Nitro, Hogan used strawberry scented body oil. Yum.
That is intensity. However, please don't underestimate the power of Ric Flair.
That is intensity.
That speaks for itself.
Hogan or Gene talking like an art curator. That video was his exhibit.
Defend against Pretty Wonderful, Pretty Paul Roma.
George Hamilton's skin looked like burnt, like dry and crisp.
At an even 450 pounds. And United States champ, stunning Steve
Austin. Yeah, same skin tone, but the texture and the sheen. I think Hogan's 101.
It's live on pay-per-view cable TV.
Use Thompson's water seals.
And it all happens a week from this Sunday, July 17th, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 out of the West Coast. Call your cable company now. Satellite
Gene, get your hands where I can see them, buddy.
At 1-800-843-9266. NBA superstar Shaquille O'Neal will be on hand to present the winner with the belt for the main event.
Way to just drop that randomly at the end. Oh, by the way, the most...
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is Super One Fall. Introducing first, accompanied by his...
There we go, the Sullivans. Yes, your favorite, Brian, Swampfoot. Speaking of Swampfoot, it's Dave Sullivan. You know, he's supposed to be dyslexic, but Hulk really did say a lot of slurs.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent at 237 pounds.
I have no idea what those races were in that commercial. Hey, it's downtown Denny Brown.
Getting set to go up against Kevin Sullivan, but pretty wonderful. Paul Roman, Paul Orndorff have some.
Good night, buddy. Love you. You take your medicine? You take your medicine.
Bash at the beach. Kevin Sullivan, Cactus Jack. It's going to be pretty wonderful.
They've only like the slurs.
We're going to be looking so fine. We're going to be styling. The ladies are going to be going nuts.
Oh, I thought Paul Roman was going to give him a hickey.
Well, some very strong comments from Pretty Wonderful. No question about that.
Yeah, Denny Brown looks like if Ralph Macchio didn't get... Holy shit. If Ralph Macchio didn't get the Cobra Kai reboot money.
But I'm beginning to believe Kevin's out of it as well.
Well, Kevin never really was all together there. This kid...
Swampfoot and Thunderfoot.
No idea what he's up against in Kevin Sullivan. I mean, this guy is just barbaric.
You know what, Kevin Sullivan is, he's in there with a great veteran, downtown Denny Brown, former junior heavyweight champion of the world.
Yes, Denny Brown, longtime NWA junior heavyweight champion. A lot of matches with Lasertron. Ooh, and a Buddha Dean reference. He does look like Adam Ferrara. That's a good call. That's a good call, Justin. He does look like Adam Ferrara.
That is a natural fact.
Quarter. Walter.
All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to have that special number for you to call tonight.
What's that shirt say?
900 line. We'll have that for you at the end of the program.
Hulk slurs?
Help choose the main event tonight. WCW Saturday Night, live from here in Atlanta.
You know what, God?
Yes, I fucking love the most alive man in wrestling, Jason Exile. By the way, everybody check out Mystery Wrestling over on Patreon. As well, Evil Uno's Twitch. They just announced they'll be running All Out Weekend in Ontario in co-injunction with AEW. Yes, Mystery Wrestling is coming to Toronto, yes. Dude, Sean put that news in a Fightful email yesterday. I'm like, whoa, dude. I think it even got its own email, like... It's a Fightful, big Mystery Wrestling news. And then I'm like, what?
Interesting flashbacks and the Clash of Champions, which once again will show you why Sensuous Sherry is barred from the matches.
Apparently, Dave Sullivan claims somebody at WWE told him they based cheat on him.
Next Saturday morning, WCW Pro with the Pro team. Dusty Rhodes, Larry Zbyszko, and yours truly.
I feel like somebody just told him that.
I tell you, Denny Brown is going to be having some flashbacks, and they're all going to look like Kevin Sullivan. What a horrifying sight that's going to be. Hey, just a rugged individual.
But somebody told Hector Guerrero, hey, they based the Fabulous Freebirds on the Gobbledygooker.
He was a little on the small side.
Or the Patriot. Hey, dude, they based Cody Rhodes on you.
Champion, a tremendous competitor, great mat technician.
Looks like he put a few pounds
The
on there.
Hulk slur. I don't think it's a gimmick, man. I think it's a shoot, Nathan. Speaking of folks at Checker, go follow Nathan on Instagram, TikTok, all the video apps. Cheap Heat Spotfest. He makes indie wrestling look pretty gosh darn cool.
Oh, God, here he goes. Tying him. Yes.
Yeah, Fightful's not the best. I wouldn't pick Fightful if I were picking a name for an outlet, but that's why they don't let me name things. Ooh! Actually, you know what? Maven completely exposed that on his channel the other day. So now we know double stomps don't hurt. Thanks, Maven.
It's all in the same locale, no question about that. Don't forget Sting versus Regal for the TV title will be at Bash at the Beach coming up on the 17th.
Let me see the shirt.
Conversation going on here now between.
I love the kids. Like, come on, Kevin Sullivan. Come on, Satan. Wrestling Satan, give me a high five. No, the Eugene gimmick was based off of an actual fan. named Eugene, who would come help out at the shows in Pittsburgh. That's what Eugene's based off of.
I'm gonna tell you what, they need to get themselves together. Cactus Jack, Kevin Sullivan faces pretty wonderful back to the beach. Could be
Yeah, kids fucking love Satan.
Could happen, and right now we're gonna take a brief time out for this commercial message.
Like, it's insane to me that that guy works in a school now.
Here's Larry Posen.
Like, do you think he walks through the hall, just beat the shit?
WCW comes to you live, and for the first time
I think that's the best part of wrestling.
Who will step into the ring?
Is
Don't miss WCW.
is that the old NWA WCW music? Yeah, that's the best part of wrestling, is when you come up with something like a wrestling promotion. Like, oh, this is gonna be great because I'm gonna do this and this and this, and then none of it happens, but you come up with something even better. So Mystery Wrestling, you can check out all the past shows on the Mystery Wrestling Patreon, and all future shows, they air live. Right now, it's mostly Sunday afternoons, once a month, on Evil Uno's Twitch. He streams them live on his Twitch. Very interactive show.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Normally it's Evil Uno and
It's my job to make sure people look good.
big old name star of his, on a friend of his on commentary. Sometimes Cecil here jumps in during intermission, chats it up. Cecil Russell's he just kicked that gosh darn London Lightning out of town, which, by the way, is genuinely one of the most interesting wrestling segments I've seen in a long time. Is that like 30-minute tracking shot following London Lightning from the arena out of town. Holy shit. That would have been amazing. Diesel next, and Aja Kong. God, that would have been dope.
World's television title, standing here with the man that I believe is still the world's television champion, but Sting had this work cut out for him.
Dusty's got his arm around both of his co-hosts. That sucks.
All right, any comment?
Well, personally, I got some comments. I'm going to take Sting out to the links, and as we play 18 holes, I'm going to explain to him every little trick.
I'm going to take Sting golfing.
I know how to beat the man, and I'll help Sting take care of Jerkington if I have to.
Jerkington, because he's British. God, I believe it, man. I believe it. Probably smells fascinating. So this part's definitely not making YouTube. Completely forgot they were doing these flashback segments. This show's fucking awesome, by the way. The Great American Bash 89. One of the best WCW shows ever. Oh my goodness, if John Moxley would have popped up at Mystery Wrestling. Honestly, that's when I would almost rather see him on commentary, just reacting to all the shit that's going on. What the fuck do you mean that guy sells hot dogs? The hot dog guy? That's Sasquatch? Dude.
And controlling the contest. If he can land several of those, he can slow Muta down, and that's what he needs to do. Right there's where he needs him.
Why did Nick Patrick almost smack the Great Muta in the face? You all saw that, right? He's like, get it? Because he's Japanese. It's just a sleeper. Shout out to the camera operator and the little jorts.
Sting has got his neck back vertical. Now Muta back into reverse chin lock. Lost the sleeper advantage there. But now as trying to crimp the neck. The Stinger's got to keep his neck straight. Do not restrict the flow of blood.
Earlier we talked about this.
Yay. Clap, clap, clap. We all have the clap.
He fits into that category, Jim. He's got muscle, power, and
like
size.
Muta applied that hold like he has OCD. I believe that is Jason Hervey at ringside.
Downstairs on Stinger.
I think that's just something Jim Ross made up.
You can see the tension is placing on Sting's abdomen and his ribs, drawing them taut.
Yeah, Muta was on NXT tonight, apparently.
Well, they're out near the center of the ring, too. Sting can't make the ropes, and right now to get to the rope, hey, he may turn it around. Boy, look at the power in Sting. Now, Jim, that takes
Yep,
a lot
I know that
power
rule.
there.
My
You don't see that happen very often.
my son Noli wrestled for a few years, and they had that rule.
Perhaps with a hip lock. But Muta's got that leg. You can see Muta's leg intertwined with
Triple
Sting's
threat
leg.
to NXT Mexico?
Now he takes him back, pinning predicament here.
I don't know what that means, Luis.
Got two out of it, and Muta with the elbow to the back of the neck.
He wore the whites when he won the NWA World Title in like '92. That's when I remember him wearing the white. Oh, Triple A. I think eventually it'll be NXT Mexico.
Right into both eyes of the Stinger.
I think
Sting now, at least for the moment, is momentarily blinded by that.
the up and over, down the steps and over the barricade all the way around.
And another one downstairs to the midsection.
That'd be great. If you could do that safely, that'd be a great spot. If you could up and over and you don't kill the guy, putting him over onto the apron, that'd be great. Yeah, seriously, what a great lineup. And 89 is such a great year for WCW. Like, I know folks kind of bag on it because for business reasons, but guess what? I wasn't working for the company, so I don't give a shit about the business. I just know the shows were all awesome. Though I will say, I don't like the fact that the ring is decorated like a picnic table on the 4th of July.
Muta very cautious to crawl back in the ring. Sent for the ride.
Oh, maybe that's why he holds onto the ropes.
Nick Patrick's face.
The red mist takes out your balance.
To take over on Muta. Sends him for the ride. There's a Stinger.
Oh.
Muta move. Sting is in trouble. Nick Patrick has been sprayed right in the face inadvertently by Muta. It was intended for Sting.
Insert your jokes there.
Tommy Young down there. Muta up top.
Seriously, he sold that mist for 6 years. Just had no fucking balance. Yeah, my mom's neighbors have those doily looking USA flag things. That's the one thing I don't like about this. It makes the ring look cheap. If only he'd held onto the ropes. Hey, it's Tommy Young. See, they're both wearing long tights, so nobody needs their dick put back into their pants. Oh my god, that would have been so good if Gary Hart walked around with mist antidote, not an anecdote. That'd be weird.
Exponential 150. Then Sunday, July 17th, the
Thank you, Alan, for the ripping ass update.
Live beginning Saturday, July 16th at
This has been Tom Green with an update on Alan Starr ripping
As we
ass.
mentioned earlier in the program, Sensuous Sherry will be barred from ringside tonight on WCW
Dusty doing a little
Saturday
bit.
Night, live from the center stage in Atlanta. Now, we're going to see in just a moment why she's going to be barred.
You know, Godden.
That's wild.
Sensuous Sherry, we know on numerous occasions has witnessed this thing. We're going to take a look at it again. Came out masked, you know what I mean? Came out there being
She came out masked. You know what I mean? Masked.
Showed the true color that she was really with Bruce. Stop it.
What the fuck?
Showed that she was really with Ric Flair. So I'm gonna take another look at it. She barred from the building tonight, WCW Saturday night. I'm ready for this.
Okay, you ready for it tonight?
Well, I'm ready.
Dusty, I don't understand Dusty's bid, but I'm into it.
She's being barred by the upper echelon, but will that keep her away? Do we know what lurks in the mind
Annette
of
Yothers?
a female creature?
Good point.
At Cow
And we will be
Apocalypse.
giving you that special telephone
I saw them at
number that you may
Lollapalooza
call
2005.
later on tonight and help pick out the main event. But right now,
I always loved that when Dusty would do these green screen 3 shots, he'd always act as if he was there live.
That's not Bockwinkel. That's Sherry.
They should have sent Eddie Guerrero dressed like that since she came out to his music. I remember what you're talking about, Low Dog. I used to watch Total Divas with my wife, and yeah, Jim Neidhart was a spectacle on that show. Because Natty was not afraid to put her fucked up dad on TV. No, we don't. She could have gone to a face painting guy at the carnival. He's on his feet. Sting's on his feet. God damn. This is that period where they had to figure out how to turn Ric Flair heel in like 2 weeks. Because they're like, shit, he's got to wrestle Hogan. He'd been a babyface. Oh my god, could you? Oh shit, that's one of the craziest Sherry spots. And she caught him really well. But
I missed that. I didn't see that. Yes, you did. Flair took Sherry and moved her right in front. And she's out. He's more concerned with her than winning the title. Flair will wake him up.
if Sherry was a great bumping machine, I just thought of something inappropriate. I was thinking, how could Sherry have shown her support for Ric Flair? And I remembered the old Ric Flair saying, no hair, no Flair. And I'll let you guys finish that in your heads.
What a beating Flair has taken, Giovanni.
Sherry just barely pulling herself up. Sting checking in. And Flair rolls it. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Ric Flair wins.
We need to get the official announcement.
I saw a Instagram reel. Brutus Beefcake did like one of those on-stage talk show things in England that a lot of the wrestlers are doing. And they asked him, the guy's like, do you think like any of your gimmicks in WCW could have worked? And with a straight face, Beefcake's like, yeah, the Disciple, it was great. But Hall and Nash got jealous because I could outwork 90% of those guys in the NWO, and I looked better than all of them. And they got jealous, and they were like, brother, Brutus can't work, man. And so they held me down. I'm like, motherfucker.
Well, it was, there you see, the 2 belts, Ric Flair is the champion.
Yeah, that's how you support. You show your support to Ric Flair in 2025. Just shit yourself. I don't. I really. If it comes to Hulk Hogan and his beard, I doubt any attendance number. Yeah, in the same reel, Beefcake told a story about how Bischoff told him, like, hey, we can't repackage you anymore. And then he went home. He got in the best shape of his life, grew a beard, got the leathers, and then Hulk brought him to CNN Center. And all the executives were like, who the fuck's that guy? He's gonna kill us. And Hulk's like, hey, you don't recognize Brutus? And Eric's like, oh my goodness, great idea. He can be with you now.
You bet. I love a man who wrestles in the ring and uses his abilities and his mind.
A helpless Sting.
Why didn't he run on the ramp? For a guy that's aware of every camera ever, that was a weird move. He's going for the swamp foot. Linda's always telling him he's got a swamp foot. And he sits on the couch, cross-legged. Dear Jimmy Hart. Yeah, hit her! Hit her, Hulk! Hit her! Yes, I have. I think we might have watched that match on here once. Where Scott Hudson introduces him as Brutus the Booty Beefcake Barber Disciple, Dizzy Man Boulder, so on and so forth. Why isn't anybody taking the giant ramp?
Ric Flair become the one and only heavyweight champion of the world.
I did, and the funniest part is that I'm pretty sure it's because of my tweet about it. Because the tweet where I shared the screenshot of that, like shitload of likes, like thousands and thousands of likes and shares. Now I feel a little bit bad. Hangman got a little bit of heat for attacking Marina, but I think the world or the wrestling fandom has changed. And it's like, if a woman is in the field of combat, she is giving her consent as a fellow fighter. And it's almost like equal treatment. Oh, hey, hell yeah, we're going to watch that here in a minute.
A very special number up on the screen. Before we do,
a very special number?
About WCW Saturday night. Tonight, 6:05. Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and a host of us will be on hand live from Atlanta. And we'll be seeing...
They're probably saying the dirtiest shit you could imagine. Trying to pop Gordon.
Hogan will be there at the building, also Ric Flair. But
I think it was the number we just saw.
Possibly choose the main event by calling this special number that's on your
WCW Fun Line. This episode's brought to you by the number 7.
That watches WCW Saturday night, our sister program, if you will, in public tonight. Opportunity, pick up a phone. Main event is in your hands tonight on WCW Saturday night. I'm going to be by phone because I know what I want to see, baby.
All right, you'll have quite a selection to choose from.
They should have cut to like a segment during the show where the booking committee are calling in.
Larry, it's going to be a lot of excitement.
Oh, it's going to be a big show, a lot of excitement, an opportunity for everyone
1-800-GIRL.
and become their own personal promoter. Pick your own dream match. Personally,
what's going on?
That dream match over there.
Oh yeah, lady, just a moment, please. All right, that pretty well wraps it up for this week. Don't forget, Bash at the Beach upcoming next week, the 17th. Until then, on behalf of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the living legend, Larry Zbyszko, Gordon Soley saying so long.
Hot bookers are waiting to chat with you now. Hot singles matches. All right, so before we go to the second episode, we're going to watch, like I said, Off the Grid is back this Sunday at 8 p.m. We have voted. This bumper I'm about to show, it does not say Sunday, it says Friday. Ignore that part. Hey, Basketball Adult, thank you for subscribing with Prime. I very much appreciate the subs. They really do help me out. Put a little bit of money in my pocket. Yeah. But Off the Grid is, again, despite what this bumper says, it's coming up Sunday, not Friday, Sunday. We voted on it. And, yeah, so here we go.
I'm Mick Karsh along with his lordship, Lord Alfred Hayes. And as we went off the air...
All right, so again, not Friday, it is Sunday. And yes, that's heel Lord Alfred Hayes on commentary. It's a small amount of tea at his chin. All right, so yeah, this episode just cuts right to the first match here. Hell yeah. I hope you can all be around. I get that because they do rounds in the AWF.
Kevin Sullivan and Cactus Jack are the champions of the world. And Orndorff, if I have to drag my brother Dave to the ring, he's going to.
All right, who we got as the opponents? Johnny Rich and someone.
You know, Dust, we're talking about
Who the hell's the partner?
all of that. There's a match tomorrow night on the pay-per-view.
Leroy Howard, maybe?
And that's Dustin and Arn Anderson going up against that tag team combination of Bunkhouse Buck.
Hell yeah. Saturday is all in. Sunday is off the grid. I don't think it's hard work, Bobby Walker.
Through the years, have hated the guts of Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream.
I think it's too big to be hard work, Bobby Walker. Yeah, no, Alfred Hayes was gone from the WWF in '95. He was in the AWF. And he got to be a silly Billy heel commentator in the AWF.
But brother, let's hope him and I can take it to
Johnny Rich in the ring. It looks like Paul Orndorff dyed his hair. Put some
right here on WCW Pro, we have said the pretty wonderful
Rogaine.
Paul Roma, Paul Orndorff. I'm
Rogaine.
telling you, I think
Maybe
they're on the
Rogaine.
verge of being World Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, they're sharp.
Wow. Maybe Nick Patrick's hair was weighing him down.
Talk about the
It's very limber here. Mild fired Johnny Rich. Oh my god, he does look like Razor Revolution. If you all have not seen Razor Revolution, go Google Razor Revolution. It is one of the funniest looking wrestlers. By the way, the audio on this goes a little bit in and out throughout the episode, but at least we can see it clearly. So.
Tag is made. Roma tags up.
Yeah, look at the ring positioning. Orndorff knows where he is
Only
at all
5
times.
seconds uncounted with the shoulders down.
They've been training
Just for
hard
men is what I was thinking. I'm not fucking Rogaine. Rogaine is when you lose the hair. Just for men is when you need a little bit of jet black in there. That's a good point. Without the mullet, his head is a little weeble wobble and tips over. Good point, Wrestling Wizards.
The mixture of control.
I am surprised. That's a good point that Basketball Adult brings up. That they let Johnny Rich go on TV wearing Hulk Hogan's ring gear. The red knee pads and the yellow tights and boots.
Nice double team there. Bobby Walker a little late on that elbow now.
That is Bobby Walker. Wow. Okay.
Right here you see as my illustrious colleague, the legendary Laz Zbyszko said, Paul Roma is...
This is very early Bobby Walker. Before they started letting him fall off the ropes.
Another quick reminder, of course, at WCW Saturday night.
Yeah, Bobby Walker looks fucking gigantic. That's why I didn't recognize him.
6 p.m.
This Bobby Walker looks like he devoured the other Bobby Walker.
Total updates on the Bash at the Beach that will occur tomorrow night exclusively on
Like, he's bigger than both Orndorff and Roma. And by the time, like, 96 came around, he was a cruiserweight.
Right here. I tell you what, they look good here, but I'm telling you what, we talk about Cactus, we talk about Kevin Sullivan, talk about how different they are.
I think it's muscle.
That they are the World Tag Team Champions. They are tough, rough, and hard to bluff.
Nick Patrick looks like he's about to be shipped to Vietnam, but plans on shooting his drill sergeants.
The only thing that could make Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff look bad is if they went to Nick Patrick's barber.
That is Nick Patrick. This is a weird period where yes, okay, Razor Revolution Canadian wrestlers what you Googled. Otherwise, as Commodore Amigo says, you get razor blades and articles on the French Revolution.
On Bobby Walker. Paul Orndorff, the Brandon Bull, takes Walker back to the rope.
I know guys who went bald when they were teenagers.
See if Orndorff knows where he is. Look, he's moving right to the corner. Even Dave, Paul Orndorff knows that ring positioning right to Roma.
And Roma very quickly gets over, but Johnny Trash Rich had already made the tag.
What the fuck did he call him? Johnny Trash Rich? What's your wrestling name? Trash.
Yeah, and Roma caught him that 1 second should never leave Paul Romo alone there. These guys are in such great condition.
Love it, Restless Wizards.
They don't know what the word tired means. Bam! Look at that.
Bam! There we go. Seriously, look at the air Paul Romo would get on those top rope moves. Johnny Trash Rich. Like, I can't believe I had to have misheard that. Travis City, thank you so much for the follow. Always appreciate when you guys bring the flat soda and the half-eaten crackers. Love it. Yeah, I said that a minute ago. Johnny Rich, I'm stunned they let him go to the ring wearing what he wore, considering Hulk Hogan was on his way in. That might be the laziest elbow drop I've ever seen. I fucking love it.
Could be tomorrow night at Bash at the Beach. Speaking of Bash at the Beach,
What a pin.
we
Just
do have a
put your
control center
fingertips
coming
on
up
him.
right now with all of the latest information.
Orndorff looked sick. Jeez. That's a good point, RV Krimmer. Orndorff did jump off the ropes a lot for a guy who didn't have any moves off the ropes. I'll turn this up. See? Whoever taped this didn't fucking mess with the tracking. They taped it on a bomb tape.
And join us on pay-per-view in the match of the century.
Yeah, we could stick with Johnny Trash Rich. Bash WCW at the beach. We'll bash WCW on Twitch.
In a moment. In other exciting action at the beach, providing they're out of the loony bin by this Sunday evening.
I love that they put Pretty Wonderful in quotations, but not Cactus Jack. Apparently, Cactus Jack is his real name, but Pretty Wonderful. Yeah, whoever taped this just fucking hated Gene. Yeah, you cannot read Ricky Steamboat's name at all. Holy stretched image. What was somehow with a beach blast? I don't know. It's a fine name for a show. Did Hogan show up and he's like, it sounds like we're blasting the beach, brother. Gotta bash at the beach.
The champ, Ric Flair, with Sensuous Sherry.
Look at that shirt on Flair. Yeah, that was Hogan was the hookup for T. Like, part of it was they were trying to suck up to Hogan by just bringing in anybody he liked. But I think that was Hogan being like, hey, can you guys pay Mr. T some money to be here? He's broke.
The power can't touch the power of Flair.
Like, Ric Flair looks like a science teacher who's out on a bar crawl at the end of the school year. Yeah, this is like very casual Ric Flair, whereas Sherry is like as dressed up as you'll ever see her.
You can bring them all. You can bring anybody in your so-called immortal world that you want.
Your so-called immortal world. Is the world immortal, or is Hulk immortal? I love that clearly neither of them knew what the other was going to be saying, but they had committed so hard to synchronizing the end of that promo. God, his skin is the same tone as the dark corners of that screen.
Security guard, the maniac mugger will be
Chemistry
circling the arena.
teachers, gotcha.
You know something, brother? The Shack Attack. The Shackmeister is gonna
The Shack Attack. Is he doing fucking Rob Schneider? Which is funny because I bet Rob Schneider and Hulk Hogan probably hang out now.
at the end of them. And Hammer and Hank, our main man, is gonna be there, brother. And he whispered in Mr. T's ear just the other day.
Do you think when they were driving to the building,
Told us not to tell anybody about the back.
Hulk was whispering to Brooke, listen, I don't want you going out with any of these celebrities that we're bringing in. Like, it looks like Mr. T's wearing a cowbell around his neck.
Sportsmanship Hall of Famer, and we'll just do the rest. And you never see him.
Did you say he's a sportsmanship Hall of Famer? Like he's in the Hall of Fame of wishing your opponents good luck? Oh, Hulk Hogan is a stage whisperer. Absolutely. Like, what would be the equivalent of this now?
Home run, baby.
Like,
over the wall. And you know, Hammer and Hank, you know about home runs.
Like,
but
if Cody Rhodes jumped back to AEW and he brought the kid, that Manny kid from Modern Family with him.
We're gonna be eating up the competition. So whoever out there, Ric Flair, you first, baby. Get out of town.
You first, baby.
I guess you could say for the man that styled and profiled his way to the top.
Like if Hangman Page brought out Rainn Wilson at All In to be his corner man.
George Foreman, Mr. T, Hammer and Hank, and all my
Butterbean's way further back culturally now than Mr. T was then. Hogan was a big nickname guy.
Dustin Rhodes teams up with Arn Anderson. They're going to be meeting Bunkhouse Buck and Terry Funk.
Trying to think who if like Dominic Mysterio brought out a lowrider and then he pulled Joseph Kony masturbating out of the back of it.
If it were up to your kids, everything would be designed just for them.
The dank meme all-stars.
Introducing Crest Complete's new kids brush. It's little like them with a unique kid grip that's easy to handle.
Good on that kid.
Your kids brush, think small.
I thought that was gonna throw up.
No little
shit-faced.
longer than Big Red.
And somebody brought it up before. There's no gum that's that size. Yeah, if Seth Rollins brought out Psy. Oh, Kony was the war criminal, not the masturbator. Gotcha. I always get them mixed up. See, I think if you bring out the masturbator and not the dictator dude or whatever, I think that's the actual celebrity of the whole Kony 2012 thing. LMFAO. If LMFAO played like TNA Sacrifice-Aversary or whatever.
Watch those tapes. Study Lord Regal, 'cause Johnny
Dusty Rhodes is feeling it today. He is. You can tell he's like, I look sexy.
You know, Gunn, I know later on in the program we're gonna be taking a look at that situation, but Sherry once again, you know what I'm talking about, once again has involved herself in a situation to where an outcome has been determined. Johnny B. Bad now gets
that's what wrestling is. You predetermine outcomes.
Lord Steven Regal.
And hey, at this rate, maybe they'll become friends. CM Punk and the Duck Dynasty family.
Only Sherry knows how far it will go.
We'll find out tomorrow night, but right now, let's take a look at Johnny B.
Dusty
Bad.
took Gordon's drinks before the show. Hey, it's Johnny B. Bad, and he got stuck in the curtain on the way to the ring. This is the most not giving a shit Johnny B. Bad has ever been. Remember, like, Johnny B. Bad's like, look at me, I'm Johnny B. Bad, I'm flamboyant. He just, like, casually walks out of the curtain, like, hey, guys, I'm Johnny. I think we got him. We got our pal Jeff Gann's father. I miss El Hijo de Gambler. I hope he's doing well. The Gambler, baby.
I think he's got a few extra aces. Well, he's going to need him in this situation right here. You brought up a good point a while ago. We're talking about
what a funny heel shtick. I got 5 aces. I cheat at poker, fuckers.
What will that do to his?
Yeah, you already won. You already won the match, Radio Otter.
The situation with Sherry and what happened on WCW Saturday night.
Could you imagine like a 2017 babyface throwing fidget spinners and just hitting kids in the head with them? I love that they zoomed out far enough that you could see the camera operator like, okay, kids, we'll put you on TV, but you got to put down those middle fingers. You can't stick up that finger on television, and also cover up your Bret Hart shirt.
Ric Flair and Sting. And I understand that the plans are underway for another interactive in the near future. Beautiful move by Johnny B. Bad.
You know, there's another side to a coin. There's always two, and on the other side is, does Lord Regal have a chance to get ready for Johnny B. Bad? You know, Regal loves to wrestle, I know, and he's very good, but Johnny B. Bad, compared to Regal's style, is very unorthodox.
Well, you know, that's true, but
because he did a head scissors. Punches.
Regal, he has to just maintain. He doesn't have to beat Johnny B. Bad to
That's true. That's a good point, Optimum Vision. I don't think the Gambler was on TV as much as we probably remember, but because his gimmick stood out so much, we all remember him as if he was there every week.
I have to agree with that too.
Yep. Johnny
You know?
Bad on the receiving end here at the hands of the Gambler. By the way, the 900 line will be carrying exclusive behind-the-scenes information.
Come on, Johnny.
From Bash at the Beach, and the Hulk Hogan Ric Flair match only will be carried on the 900 line.
Randy Anderson just totally rubbed snot on his sleeve. What's on the Gambler's ass? I think it's a full house. I could see that. Gambler kind of looks like Pepper Parks.
Nothing's like being there in person, baby.
Smoking indoors. Yes, Gambler was a USWA tag champ. It was a really weird period where both the WWF and WCW were sending developmental wrestlers to the same company. Yeah, Gambler started in WCW in '90 as Jeff Gamble, and then he came up with the Gambler gimmick. Started appearing as the Gambler in, I think, 93, 94, and then stuck around through 99.
And he will indeed face Lord Steven Regal tomorrow night, Bash at the Beach. And don't forget, it will be Ric Flair.
He always did that move and never got it.
World Heavyweight Championship match of the century, they're saying.
Yeah, I saw that Mike Bailey wore that gear. I love how unabashedly nerdy Mike Bailey is.
He's got the agility. Does he have the ability?
Right. We're going to find out. All right, more action coming up here on WCW.
Like, the slow-mo just makes it look like he was rubbing that child's face. Okay, there's that angle we were talking about a second ago. Vroom, vroom.
Exclusively on TBS.
Promotional considerations paid for by the following.
Botany 500.
Botany
the name that
500.
Style, quality, and value in men's
Is that one of those
clothes.
races?
Now brings its flair and detailing to almost everything men wear.
I like the guy in the middle that's
Botany
just like
500.
fucking
It's the way you
Sherlock
live.
Holmes.
G.I. Joe Battle Corps, all new action warriors, super long range firepower.
Hey, you want to dress like an 1800s detective? Go to Botany 500.
Cool clothes, hot products.
Hot
to order
products.
your WCW merchandise, get the new catalog by calling 1-800-4WCW
drugs.
now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is
Kilos and kilos.
introducing first from Hollywood, California, at 243 pounds.
I love how fucking Brian is back to being Flying Brian, but he still has to be from Hollywood.
Okay, this is our main event here on WCW Pro with the Pro Team. Dusty Rhodes, Larry
This'll be
Zbyszko, and
dope.
yours
Brian
truly.
Pillman against Terry Funk.
Mr. Ring Announcer, if you
Mr.
will,
Ring
please,
Announcer.
sir.
Gordon Soley does not give two shits about David Pinzer.
And his bodyguard, me, from the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo.
That's just how they did things on TV back then. I think, like, if you paid a little bit more, you gotta be in the promotional consideration portion. Oh yeah, Terry Funk knocking out a cameraman.
Facing the natural Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson at Bash at the Beach, exclusively on pay-per-view. And like we said earlier, if you don't have pay-per-view capabilities, you will hear.
And imagine Triple H putting glitter paint all over his vest. By the way, shout out to my SSRI gang.
On the 900 line, I guess it'll be about around 9:30. Terry Funk.
All right, Stephen J. Neptune, Man, This Day in History. July 16th, 94. The Yankees beat the Mariners 9-3. Number one movie in America was True Lies. And the day before this, Hulk Hogan testified against Vince McMahon in the WWF steroid trial before leaving the courthouse. Hogan turned to the media present and said, and I quote, "Better watch the pay-per-view this Sunday, brother." There we go. Thank you, Stephen J. Neptune, man, as always, for the factoids. Terry Funk's gonna beat up those teenagers back there.
From the family of that. But, brother, right now there's nobody any meaner anywhere on the face of this earth than Terry Funk. And I've never hated anybody in my life. But, brother, I have a real dislike for the Funk family.
You know, all the Funks were great wrestlers on the mat, standing up. But Terry Funk, I think over the years, he must
Terry Funk would have been fun.
destroyed the wrong brain cells.
Those initial Raw episodes, but they would have cheered him.
Very nasty individual.
Those initial Raws at the Manhattan Center were all smarky smarks.
They lock up power.
Curtis, you should kill yourself.
Being driven back into the ring ropes. Referee calling for the breaker. Terry Funk. Couple of cheap shots on the break.
Those weren't cheap shots.
Sends Pillman through the ropes.
If we're face to face and I chop you, that's not a cheap shot.
Lace him one time. Lace him one time.
We're 30 seconds into the match. We already have fighting out of the ring.
As he does, Flying Brian charges at him.
Why did Flying Brian become a job guy? I don't think he became a job guy per se. He was just kind of in limbo. Because they were...
The momentum here
It was they wanted to bring back the light heavyweight division for him, but they kept delaying it, and by the time they actually made it happen, Pillman was a heel with the Horsemen, and then he left. Like, he left before they started it proper.
Side headlock now by Terry.
But yeah, by the they kind of put him in limbo. Will they? Won't they? Because of the cruiserweight division idea not taking off for almost 2 years after they initially announced it on TV. It's a great headlock. Unsurprisingly, Terry Funk is good at wrestling. The GOAT.
I mean, he'll give you a wrestling lesson.
That's something that a lot of these.
To me, Terry Funk's the greatest of all time because he's the best at every aspect of wrestling.
The older competitors have.
You know, God, you remember wasn't too long ago, a few years ago, Terry Funk came all the way across country on an airplane with a headstone on it. Said, "Dusty Rhodes, may he rest in peace." The situation that Dusty Rhodes has got itself into is a situation that is family. It is Funk family.
2 minutes into the match, and Terry Funk's like, "We're gonna do a pile driver on the floor."
Situation here, brother, and he's in the battle that I took and carried on through the years is now won over to Dustin Rhodes.
All these old timers like, pace out your moves. Don't do head droppy shit so early. Terry Funk's like, "Fuck you, pile driver on the floor to start my heat."
Terry Funk has got Flying Brian in trouble. Rolls him back into the ring. He'll be out to offer more punishment.
And a DDT.
Modified DDT that has
That wasn't modified.
down on the canvas.
He just did it kind of slow.
Oh, that was 2 and 3
Yeah, they had to
quarters.
lower the kayfabe cruiserweight limit because everybody got so much smaller.
This is a tremendous main event.
Like Brian Pillman now would be, he wouldn't be a big guy, but he'd be like mid-sized. He'd be like an Ethan Page. Oh, what a backdrop on the floor.
Has Terry Funk in
Wait.
trouble.
Terry's like, hey, give me a pile driver on the floor. That sounds like fun.
Kick him in the belly welly, brother. Chase him around and get after
Like,
him. What is he doing? He run himself into the steel steps there. He needs to get on his back like a raging bull and ride him on down. That's what needs to be happening, but he needs to watch out where he's at.
Terry Funk fucking rules.
Outside the ring. Brian Pillman needs to get back in.
Terry Funk smashed into the
Another pile driver on the floor.
And now it is Brian Pillman bringing.
Oh shit, that one looks sick.
Pile driver.
Boy, outside, I tell you, these guys are coming close to getting both disqualified. Look at Patrick, he's out there.
I don't think Terry Funk gives
So
a real
cool. I
damn whether he
fucking
gets
love Terry
disqualified or
Funk.
not. I think he's just trying to inflict pain, but it's turned around on him right here, brother.
Hello, the real is it the real De Prince? The real De Prince. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. We are, that's right. We are just a week away from, in my opinion, the best Dusty Rhodes promo of all time. It always makes me cry.
Good call, brother.
As somebody with daddy issues.
Terry Funk is all but out on his feet. Collapses outside the ring. This could be the opportunity, but
And Terry Funk never took normal bumps, and that's kind of the magic to Terry Funk.
It's much safer inside the ring.
Well, you're not going to win the match on the outside.
He never took bumps that looked clean.
Amen.
That's one of many reasons why he ruled. That would be awesome. Imagine son-in-law with Terry Funk and Sean Astin.
Saturday night with Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain.
Oh shit, oh shit. Oh!
And don't forget, of course, we have options available every day, 24 hours
This is a hell of a match, and they're just doing
You must be
everything.
18 or older to call or have your parents' permission.
Boy,
Yeah,
another
man.
2
Good,
and
yeah,
3/4 count. Look at Funk thinks it's a 3.
When Cody won at the WrestleMania, I felt that.
Well, he better not mess too hard with
Cody's a real one.
Nick Patrick, or he'll find himself on the DQ list.
Cody's a good fella. I love that. Again, I love that. Terry's like, you know what would be different if I stopped running and genuinely tripped over Brian Pillman on this drop down.
Terry Funk, another one.
That's why Terry Funk is the best.
And I don't know who's
Terry
getting the
Funk
worst of
tried to
this.
murder multiple
Brian
people with
Bryan or Terry
Walmart
Funk?
bags.
Terry Funk with a little wobbly leg right before them headbutts came there. He got him again. Walked right into it. There he is.
Fucking
there
awesome.
He goes.
I love that this match has not followed the formula of wrestling at all whatsoever. And it's still so easy to follow because Terry Funk is the best.
Not the guy to take a high-risk maneuver against. Especially with Colonel Parker and Ming walking around outside the ring.
Well, Flying Brian is living up to his
The
name.
fuck? Oh, Bunkhouse Buck. Oh. Oh, man.
Bunkhouse Bunk is in there, and Buck is pounding
Exactly,
away at
Stephen J.
Flying Brian.
Neptune, man. They know that the real high spot is the heart. Dustin Rhodes came dressed up exactly like Bunkhouse Buck for some reason.
And they are taking off after that tag team combination.
He is single white femaling his enemy. What was that? Like, that had to have been like on purpose, that he showed up dressed just like Buck.
Gordon Cooper is in a tin can. His electrical systems failed. The automatic pilot's out. He's leaking oxygen. The ship is dead.
The ship is dead. Fucking Gordon.
Gordo Cooper will be the first man to attempt a manual re-entry. To achieve that,
I don't know. I think this guy just bought TV time to talk about how cool Gordo is. It's that clip from Maya.
The hot dog from Oklahoma is a charcoal briquette.
Hot dog from Oklahoma? Jack Swagger?
But he's not off. He lands that baby less than 4 miles from the carrier.
Why did we need a commercial for the 25th anniversary of the moon landing?
Moonshot, the real stuff.
Oh, it's a TV special. Moon.
Phew.
Oh shit, Swampfoot. That's why Swampfoot's feet smell so bad. He has a skunk in his shoe.
Comfortable odorators contains super-activated charcoal, an exclusive patented form of the world's most powerful odor destroyer. Scholl's doesn't have it. Do something about those smelly feet. Get odor
Yeah,
readers
fucker, or your wife's gonna
Odor
leave
readers
you.
are so strong, they actually knock foot odor out
Swampfoot.
of your shoes and out of your life. Genuine
The
odor readers in
TBS
Seoul.
ad execs have no respect at all.
We'll be your hosts on TBS for the
Swampfoot,
international sporting event
you
of the
dumb
summer,
dick.
the 1994
His
Goodwill
wife's an
Games.
asshole.
That's right, Nick.
I just
For
think they're
16
toxic
days, the
for
world's
each
best
other.
athletes go head-to-head in a
Swampfoot and his wife.
finals-only competition.
She's mean.
So that
He
means that
smells.
every time you turn to TBS during the games, you'll see world and Olympic champions going for the gold. There
Yeah.
are no preliminaries. Each athlete has only one shot at Goodwill glory. We'll see some of the biggest names in sports. Shannon Miller, Dan O'Brien, and Michelle Kwan. And Fred, track and field should be particularly strong. World records will be under fire, with names like Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Carl Lewis, and Mike Powell on hand. Over 2,000 athletes competing in 24
Ooh, we need to
sports against the spectacular backdrop
Get
of St.
skunks in
Petersburg.
for
It's the biggest
sack
international
removal surgery.
multi-sport event of the summer.
The 1994 Goodwill Games, the world's best. One chance to prove it. Beginning July 23rd on TBS.
Michelle Kwan should have been invited to War Games.
In closing, let me remind you now that tonight,
Fred,
WCW
track and
Saturday
field.
Night will be
Why
on
was
the
that
air
not a
at 6
Chikara
p.m.
gimmick?
Cactus Jack and Kevin
Like a
Sullivan
gym
against
teacher.
Bad Attitude.
You know, God, I have told you the bash at the beach is on us. And one match we talked about a tremendously lot was Cactus Jack, Kevin Sullivan. Will they be able to get along as a unit? We're going to find out on WCW Saturday night tonight, because Bad Attitude is looking for a spot. They looking to grab a little bit of victory right there from them.
Looking to
I'm
grab
anxious
a
for
little
this
bit of
thing. It might
victory.
soften them up a little bit, because I know pretty
Sounds
well
inappropriate for the
ready Back
workplace.
to the beach tomorrow night.
They are indeed, and of course we will be hearing some closing comments from Ric Flair and from Hulk Hogan.
Tomorrow night, Gordon, is the night, and it all boils down to this question for the undisputed
Dusty's got a good titty tan.
heavyweight championship of the world.
His chest is very
or
tan.
Cannot Ric Flair put the figure 4 on Hulk Hogan?
We'll find out tomorrow night. Be sure and check out
Wrestler with a shot
WCW
putter
Saturday
gimmick
night, tonight,
with a discus
6
punch.
p.m. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Tony Schiavone bringing you the action. Till next time, Gordon Soley on behalf of, yes, Dusty.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Dusty's mom.
On behalf of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. This is what's his name saying so long.
This is
till
what's
next
his name. Fucking love it, man. All right, so before we go, again, Off the Grid is this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks to everybody for voting in the poll. But of course, the Tuesday, the mothership, WCW Deep Cuts Live, back next Tuesday at 9. Here's what we'll be watching next Tuesday here on Twitch.
You can bring your kids, you can call on all your fans, it don't matter, because I don't have no fans, and I don't want them!
All right, so that does it. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me the last 2 hours for WCW Deep Cuts Live. I always appreciate the fellowship, the friendship, the fun. Thanks for the hang. Again, I will be back Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern for Off the Grid. We're going to watch more American Wrestling Federation with our friends, the Round System. So, yeah, thank you so much for that, as always, as I like to end these streams with. Oh, and by the way, again, reminder, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern on the BR, the Bleacher Report app, and on YouTube. Check me out on Wrestling Daily with Matt Camp. As well, make sure to watch my new long-form video about how I'm excited about AEW All in Texas. And check out the shorts I do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Go check those out. But like I always like to end these streams with, even if you don't make it here next Tuesday, yeah, I'd love to have you. A lot of you, I think we set a record tonight for most folks on Twitch at one time, at one point, and that's awesome. Let's break it again next week. But even if we don't, I hope you make it the next Tuesday in general. 7 days, that's all I'm asking. I know life sucks. I know it's hard. Trust me, I feel the brunt of it every fucking day. Mental illness is a motherfucker. But I'm here, and I hope you guys make it too. Okay, my name's Tom. This is WCW Deep Cuts Live. It is 11 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast. I mean, yeah, it's Eastern East Coast. Go to bed!